let's take a look at the final project definition. Some of you are already working on it, and that's great. You should be. But a lot of you are confused about what it should actually do or what it should look like for your final project for Sudoku for TC1017. So here's the description. It goes into details, okay? Remember, you should log into GitHub. One of the final comments here you'll see is I have a link to my GitHub page. If you go to my GitHub page, I think most of you have this, there's a link over here saying repositories that you contribute to. These are the ones that I contribute to or that I've created for my students mostly. Yours should list there anything else you're working on and your project for this, or your group for this project. Okay, if you don't have a group, I'm gonna make it now and get you going on this. So you can go there and I'll have the base of code. So for example, let's take a look. Here's Ale Gonzalo's. And I can see that there's two commits. This is my commit, and I think they're both my commits. But I can see what you guys are doing. So Ale and Gonzalo, I know they're working on this because I talked to them. They need to commit their code here. So there's the Sudoku.cpp, and this is Sudoku01.txt. If you take a look at Sudoku01.txt, it's pretty lame. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's just a text file, but it has the numbers of an initial Sudoku board. 0 represents there's nothing there, and the rest is numbers between 1 and 9. So that's a valid Sudoku configuration. I think it's actually the numbers that are listed on the Wikipedia page about Sudoku. And if you go into the Sudoku.cpp, I'll just click on raw again here so we can see the actual file. You should fill in your student number, and you can use my base or you can use anything you want. If you want to do it differently, go for it. But I've done a lot of the work here for you. For example, in the main, I parse the arguments, and we'll see how that works here in a second, and you pass the file as an argument to the program to start up the Sudoku. Yours has to implement it the same way. The specifications have to be met, even if you decide, I don't like Ken's implementation, I don't like vectors, I want to use arrays or whatever, go ahead and make your own, but it has to follow the same specs. So with that said, the real trick in Sudoku is we need to be able to print the board, make it a little nicer maybe, that'd be nice, colors, put some lines in there. I'm going to show you an example of a previous solution from another student, and you just need to ask the user, do you want to write with the pencil and fill a new number in, or do you want to turn the pencil around and erase? It's just like playing Sudoku with paper and pencil. So let's bring up the example here. I'll clear the screen. So you've got a Sudoku CPP, in this example with Sudoku.cpp, and it creates an a.out, and I'm going to run it. If I just run it by itself, it says, no, I need a file name to initiate the Sudoku. Okay, cool. I have one handy here. Ken gave it to us, the Sudoku01.txt. So I'm saying execute the executable with Sudoku01.txt. Remember, on Windows, it's going to be a.exe because Windows. On Mac and Linux, it's going to be .a.out. All right? A.out, sorry. So let's run it, and we'll see. We get this presentation. This is Diego's work. And it gives me the commands, gives me some explanations of what I need to do. And he chose to show in red numbers, the original numbers. You'll recognize these numbers from what we just saw. And in white and in zeros are the numbers where we can write stuff. And he put, nice lines around it and made it look pretty. So let's try it out. If I push print, what happens? Oh, it prints. If I type quit, what happens? Well, it quits. So let's run it again. So let's try to change that 5. I'm going to try to write on top of that 5 in the corner there. So let's say write, and I'm wondering here is because we know vectors and arrays start their indexes with 0. So is the row going to be from 0 to 8, or is it going to be 1 to 9? I'm going to try 0. Oh, okay, so this is good. It tells me, you know what? 0 is not good. You have to give me a number between 1 and 9. So I'm going to say 1, and then I assume that 1 as well. And select the column. It says, oh, I can't do that. I can't write there because it's already taken. Good job. So let's try to let's try to erase that 5. Let's erase. Oh. Whoa, he's got a bug there. Well, let's try again. Let's try to erase. Select row 1, column 1. All right, good. I just noticed a bug in this program I didn't notice before. But oh well, you fix that. So I can't erase. That's good. So let's try to write. Let's write into this 0 right here. So let's write and select row. Row 1, that'll be row 1, column 3, and I'm going to put, I'm going to try to put a 5 there. Let's see what happens. And it says, no, that's not good. So let's try again. It scrolled off, so I'm going to print again. Let's write row 1, column 3, let's put a 4 there. Good. And notice he put it in green. It says, okay, this is a 4. So let's try to erase that just for fun. Or let's try to write on top of it. Does it let me write on top of it? So row 1, column 3. Enter the value 4. No. Would you like to do? So I can't. It's already spaced. In my opinion here, you should have, right away, we know we can't do anything. So why bother asking me for the number? So a feedback on this would be, you know, if it's an invalid row and column, don't bother asking me the number because it doesn't really matter what the number is, right? So let's try row 1. I'm writing. Let's try to write on top of row 1, column 3. Yeah, invalid space. Okay, cool. Yeah, now I see what the bug was before. Let's try to, say, put a 4 here. Okay, so let's write 2, 3, 4. Good. So it doesn't like that. So it checks the column. I know it checks rows as well. Let's try put a 6 there. Let's write in row 1. Oops. Oh well. Let's try to put a 5 here. Row 1, column 4. Let's put a 5. Good. So let's try some more testing here. Let's try to put in this place right here. I'm trying to see where I can check this quadrant thing. So if I try to put a 4 there, there's no 4 in this column. There's no 4 in this row, but there's a 4 in this 3 by 3 grid. So let's try to write in row 2, column 2. Let's make a 4. And it says, no, you can't do that because it's repeated in the quadrant. Good job. So that's pretty well it. We could keep playing this game and testing that it all works and finish it, but I don't have time for that and you'll be bored. But really the trick is you want to be able to check when they try to erase something that they're allowed to erase it, and that when they write something they're allowed to write there. We can't write over top of numbers. We can't erase original numbers. We can't put a number that's in the same column as something else, and we can't put a number that's in the same row as something else, or the quadrant. Okay, I would say for your solution, get it to just get right to work. And don't worry about if it's illegal or whatever the place. Just make it so it changes the board and that's visible. That's a good advance. And then get erase to work maybe. And then check that the columns is a legal move and the rows a legal move. That quadrant is probably the trickiest part. And then when you get bored of like the mechanics or you want to rest, figure out this color stuff. How do you get that these are red and these are green? And how do I get these lines up there and then the lines between here and stuff? Take it little by little. That's why I want to see a commit every week. Okay, I want to see at least some kind of commit every week from each group to get the full points for the project. You'll see there on the grading, there's 5 points that you do, the minimum required, 5 marks for your blog post describing your experience that explains how it went and how you were doing on the project. I say 8 weeks of the project, but really I'm only forcing 4 weeks. Okay, I'm really worried about these last 4 weeks that you're actually doing something. You should at least be reviewing the code and figuring out how to make changes this week. Coding style, and if you want to commit this week, put your name in the file at least. Coding style, 3 points, 2 points for actually doing weekly commits. Okay, so that's pretty well for the project. I'll wrap this up, and I'm going to go make the teams of the people that don't have teams now. All right.